Okay, so this lesson is going to be on switches. So if you are in Tinkercad, you have essentially 5 different switches. This is a tack switch. This is, I guess it would be a slide switch, and then these are all dip switches. And to understand them, we have to take a look at some definitions, I guess. So this is just a quick search from ChatGPT. I was looking for different types of switches and the symbols for them. So we'll start off with just some of the words associated. So the most common one, like on your keyboard or I guess a light switch, would be a single pole, single throw. And it's abbreviated as a SPST. Okay? And then you go to single pole double throw, and I have a diagram somewhere of that. So this would be your classic single pole single throw. If you were to take a look at the specific part of it, so this is what you consider your pole, and then the second part is the throw. So if you were to fast forward to this one down here, you have a single pole, which is this one here, the going in part, and the throw being the part that is the selective item. So in this switch, you have 2 positions. Often one position is the position that would turn something on, like a light or a motor, and the second position would be not hooked up at all. But you could have a situation where the second position has a different set of lights, and you could select between the 2 of them. In this case, you've got the same type of switch, but it's just orientated differently. You have the pole in the center and the throws on each side. If you go to this type here, you have a double pole and with a single throw. So you have the situation where the pole can be connected to the throw in 2 positions, but the second pole can't actually touch the second throw. So that's why it's only a single throw. Whereas if you go to a double pole, double throw, you have the poles in the middle. You could have the position to the right or to the position to the left. So that's what makes it a double pole, double throw. And then it gets more complicated. So this is just a different version of this one over here. And this kind of makes it obvious what the throws are. So this is a double pole, so these 2 items here, and then you have multiple throws. So you could have a whole bunch of different selections to happen. And I kind of think that's what's happening with digital volume. So when you're increasing or changing the level of a digital volume, it just kind of goes to steps. But that could be more of an electronic thing. Okay, so the intention here is not to exhaust the number of switches. You can see from just zooming in and zooming out. Now on the bottom here is a dip switch, and we'll see if we can get in closer on that one. So the dip switch is essentially a series of single pole, single throw switches, which you can tell from this sort of diagram here. So you got your pole and you got your throw, and you can just select them one by one and turn stuff on. Okay, so that's enough of the theory part. So how do they actually work? Well, to get something to show in Tinkercad, we need to basically review what we did last time. So you can use numbers on your keyboard. So I am wanting a red, so I'm going to hit number 2, and I'm going to go through the switch. Now the way this switch works is you have 2 pieces of metal and they're parallel to each other, and then when you press the button, it basically shorts out between the 2. So I need to go to opposite corners to make that switch work, and I think we did this one as a last lesson. So now when I hit simulate on the top right and I press the button, I get the light switch, or the light going on. So now I'm using the light because the polarity of an LED, if I was to use an LED, is a little bit tricky. So we're going to keep it simple. So this one has a positive and a negative, and so we don't want to deal with that. That's why we're going to use a light bulb. and we'll use the 9-volt battery because it's the most standard of them. Okay, so if we were to get rid of that, actually you can copy here. So if you click on something, you can go Control Copy and Control Paste. I don't know what happened there. Let's try that again. Control Copy, Control Paste. So that I'm using Control C and Control V on the keyboard, and that's so I can have another circuit to show you how things are working. And we're going to try this one. Now this would be, if we go back to our diagrams, where is that? This would be a single pole double throw. So where was that one? So that is this one up here. Okay, and that's as complicated as it's going to get for this particular lesson, mainly because we don't have any. If you want to rotate these things, you can click on them and just type R, and we'll probably keep it here. And then I want to have 2 light bulbs, so I'm going to Control Copy that, and Control Copy that. And we'll get these out of the way. Okay, so how would I wire this up? I could go common grounds. Common grounds just means that you need to have a ground going. Places. Okay, now I'm going to change it to number 2, and I screwed that up. Okay, so if I want to change this back to black, I can just click on it and type number 1. So now this part is going to go to red, so I want number 2, and I want to go to that light. Okay, so whenever you hit the play button, you want to kind of have an idea of what do you think is going to happen, right? So I'm going to turn this on, and that's what happens, is that we have basically the switch selecting which one's going to be on, but we don't ever have a situation where they would be off. So single pole, single throw, we're going to have to press it to turn it on, and then this one's more of a selector item. Okay, and we'll stop the simulation, and we'll go, I guess, very quickly to this one. So we need to have a battery, so that's Control C, Control V. And for this one, I think we only need 1 light bulb, Control C, Control V. And so I'm going to go number 1 to make it. And so this one has got, I guess, 4 poles, but it's not going to be like the other one. This one you had to go cross, and I think that for this dip switch we can't do that. So we're going to just go on this side, and we'll see if it works, and we'll change that to 2. And when we go back to start simulation, we click it. So what's happening is that it's a single pole, single throw switch. So when I click it, it goes on and off. And the difference is I can leave it on, whereas this is called a momentary switch. So a momentary switch, you have to hold it to be on. And this one, you can just toggle it. So it toggles and it stays in the position that you leave it in. Okay? So for your lesson today, I would like you to copy what I have made, and then I want you to take one of these and make it work. So for this one, you could have 4 different items on it. So it could be 4 different lights. You could try something else if you wanted to. And then this one would have 6 different items on it. So you can choose between one or the other, but I do want you to duplicate this and show me that you can get it to work. So you're going to need to use FreeCam 8 to do that. Okay, so good luck, have fun with that.